What is going on? We are back for another Saturday night fantasy party. Got a little new setup in here. Working on the other day. But week 4 already. We are literally that close to being, just under a quarter now that we've got that extra game, but almost a quarter of the way through the season. It has went fast, super fast. Ooh. Close up, City.
Real close.
This looks better though, kind of, maybe. What do you guys think?
Y'all looking
you
really
like that?
good.
I like that better.
You like this better?
Yeah. I have a face for radio. I don't need to be zoomed in that much.
Hey, I tell chicks all the time I'm more Zach Galifianakis than I am Zac Efron. So,
amen.
Why not be both?
Booba says, hey, I need to fill out my second wide receiver spot. I got Jamar as my wide receiver 1, AJ Brown in the flex, but have the option of CD, Ayuk, or Jacoby Myers for the wide receiver 2 spot. It's CD Lamb. You put CD in there, you got the top 3 in there. That's what you go with there. Well, I mean, to be fair, he's got 4, maybe 5 studs. Ayuk's a stud. Jacoby Myers might be a stud in this new offense, but Jimmy G's out too, so who knows what we see with what Brian Hoyer. Are they going to give Farva a shot there?
Got to go Farva. How can you not?
Well, they went Brian Hoyer the first time he missed a little bit of time, right?
Yeah, they did.
But Hoyer's not any good.
Hoyer's also old at this point, right?
Well, I mean, I don't think
he's been old for a while.
I don't think old matters, though.
Yeah.
We've seen some other old quarterbacks of late that have done all right. Now, some of them like Phillip Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger, their arms fell off. But Brian Hoyer hasn't used this as much as they have either because he's
also fair.
Been this backup for most of the time. But yeah, Booba, you're going with those top 3 guys, man, and doesn't mean that they're going to score the most points there, but they're easily the top 3 out of the guys you listed there. Thoughts on Jake Ferguson for the rest of the season for Emil here? Brad, what are you thinking about Jake Ferguson?
I mean, I think we've kind of seen what you're probably going to expect out of most of the year. 3 to 5 targets a game, going to get, probably 60 to 70% catch rate. I mean, I think he's probably a solid TE2. And there'll be a few weeks with buys where he might give you back-end TE1 opportunities. But, I mean, I definitely like him long-term more than I like him rest of season, though. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, I mean, if you're streaming tight ends, I think he's a streamable tight end for the rest of the season.
I mean, I like his upside a lot. I think this offense has not hit their stride yet. I think they've disappointed on many accounts thus far through the season, but he's been involved in their passing game. He was one of my favorite late round snags this offseason, and then Dynasty, I loved getting him before the breakout, and I think that can still come 3 games in. He's been solid, but not great. But I think as the season progresses and this offense gets moving, Jake Ferguson could be a really good tight end down the stretch, maybe top 12 by the end of the season. So I like him. If you're still stashed. I mean, I've got him and Njoku on my Guillotine, and I was starting Jake Ferguson before I even knew Njoku was hurt. Like,
nice.
Definitely outperforming some bigger names. Yep. Castile, what's up? Hey, I still got your shirt in my trunk. I'm going to have to mail it to you, but you're going to have to pay a little bit extra. Charbonnet or Kyron Williams? Now, I'm assuming this is the start, and it's easily Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
If it's not to start, and you're talking about Dynasty long-term, then it's Charbonnet.
It's Charbonnet, yeah, agreed.
So, figured we'd all be on the same page there. I have Joe Mixon, James Conner, Javonte, and Jerome Ford. Which 2 would you guys pick? Listen, out of all these guys, James Conner is the one I will have in my lineup every week. I don't care about the matchup. I don't care about anything. He gets too much work. If he's healthy, you got to play him. I mean, I think he scored close to 20 points every week so far this year. He gets all the work for Arizona. He gets dump offs. He gets plenty of targets, plenty of touches.
He just balls in the end zone.
Yeah, and he's just good. After that, it's probably Mixon, right?
I'm going Javonte. They've got the Bears. I feel like the Javonte game is coming.
I mean, I wouldn't really argue against that. I'd play everybody against the Bears.
Who does Mixon have?
I was just pulling up information. I mean, Connor is a must-start weekly for me, and I have Connor share. Mixon, I think, is still the next best option of these guys. Although Javonte, if you told me he got you, 15 to 20 fantasy points this week, it wouldn't surprise me, right?
Yeah.
Mixon has, let's see here. This week he's facing the Titans. Ooh. They're pretty good against the run, though. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably give Javonte a chance here against Chicago, I guess, with Connor.
Yeah, I wouldn't like I said, I wouldn't really argue against Javonte. That's a good point. Especially with the Titans run defense. Yeah, I can get on board with Javonte there. Bears are fuck. Excuse my
no
French.
comment,
I stopped mid. I got the FU out. I stopped before I finished with the CK. With QB change, are you sitting Jacoby for Addison, Tank, Kelly, Brees, Davis, Roshan? Have a lot of Jacoby. I'm playing Addison, Tank.
A lot of Jacoby.
I'm probably playing Addison, Tank, and Davis over him.
Even
this
without,
week.
I'm playing Addison and Tank. I think even over him without the QB change.
Yeah, those two. Maybe not Addison yet, but Tank for sure.
If you need upside in the league, I'd consider Davis. And then if you're just if you need a prayer, I would consider Roshan. With them playing Denver, Denver's not great against the run.
Yeah, but the Bears don't use their freaking running backs, which is
I know.
Yeah, but you got to think that turns the corner here soon. I know you're a Bears fan, so it's harder for you to see. Well, but remember what we talked about. So last year they were just trash, and then all of a sudden they hit, what was it, a 6 or 7 game skid where they were just doing the right things. You got to think that starts happening soon, right? I mean, they're really hitting rock bottom. And Roshan should be the guy when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree that they're at rock bottom, that it probably can't get worse than it is right now. But it took them 6 weeks before they made any changes last year. Now, hopefully, they're making changes after 3, cutting that time in half this year. But, yeah, I mean, unless you have to, I just can't start anybody but DJ Moore. And Justin Fields has a floor, right? So he's still startable, but outside of them two, it's hard to start anybody in that Bears offense right now. Dak or Daniel Jones? Can you believe we're having this question?
I mean, Dak for me still. When Daniel Jones is putting up 4 and 5 point games, it's hard to trust him right now.
Who do they play? Oh, shoot. Give me Daniel Jones. I can't believe I just said that. They play Seattle.
I'm sorry. You cut out. What was that? Did you got to bump him off the stream now?
Yeah, I'll just remove myself. I'll see y'all later.
I think I'm going Daniel Jones too. I feel like his rushing upside helps a little bit here. Like we said, the Cowboys, I mean, they just got beat by the Cardinals, man. They're not clicking right now. And I trust in Dable too. If I'm going to trust in McCarthy or Dable, I'm going to trust in Dable. So
Amen to that.
It's definitely not like a landslide or anything. I could probably change my mind, and if somebody convinced me there, Brad, after you're saying to kick Shane off, like convince us to go Dak here.
I mean, so it's hard to trust Daniel Jones right now. I mean, Seattle is obviously a team where he can get right, but when you've had 2 games where you weren't startable, I know Dak's first week was rough, but even last week losing Arizona, he still got you. I mean, depending on your scoring, in the 20s point-wise. Oh, I'm looking at my Scott Fishbowl version of Dak, but that's probably not helpful for
probably not as accurate.
But Dak, so in regular scoring, I mean, he still got you close to 20 points the last 2 weeks, where he was rough week 1 against the Giants. Daniel Jones, on the other hand, got you 6 points last week and 7 points in week 1. I mean, it's San Francisco is tough defense. Dallas was a tough defense. Arizona, somehow they got lucky against the Cowboys. I mean, those types of games are going to happen. I don't think that's the norm. Dallas has too many good weapons for that to happen, where Daniel Jones doesn't have that many good weapons. He's got a couple of young receivers. Darius Slayton's okay and consistent, but not a top-notch guy. Darren Waller's their best option, and against tight ends, I mean, Seattle's not terrible. I mean, they're kind of middle of the road at this point in time. So, I mean, I would still lean the guy who's got the best weapons on the field, and that's Dak. And so that would be why I would trust him over Daniel Jones. I need to see last year with Daniel Jones. Like, this year, he's just not looked as good as he did last year. So I don't know if it's regression or not enough time in preseason with the team. I still think lack of preseason reps is really hurting a lot of guys early. So I don't think Daniel Jones is as bad as he's been, but does he get right this week? Maybe. I mean, if you said he outpointed Dak, I wouldn't be surprised because he has the rushing upside, but I would lean Dak this week still, just because at least we've seen some solid production. I think the floor is higher if you need to make sure you've got a solid floor.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why the weekly rankings aren't showing up on the website and can't get it to work. Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to go Daniel Jones, but you make a good case for Dak, and I don't think they're separated very far apart. I wouldn't argue like you got to start Daniel Jones.
No.
I don't hate myself that much yet. Maybe by week 6. Should the Cowboys try to get Kyle Pitts? Shane, what do you think about this one?
I mean, in fairy tale land, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But I mean, I think they're good at tight end with Jake Ferguson and Schoonmaker. Eventually, they need a more solid or more consistent wide receiver too. And yeah, Pitts could technically fill that role, but I don't know. It seems like a fairy tale land trade to me. Like, who would they give up to go get him?
I mean, it'd probably be a future draft pick, and
yeah,
then it just depends on what Atlanta's thoughts are on Kyle Pitts. But
yeah,
I mean, I think team.
Oh, I'm going to ask a question for you guys when you're done.
I was just going to say that I think any team that doesn't have Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews, George Kittle. I don't know how many other teams shouldn't be looking at Kyle Pitts. I mean, the kid, maybe he's just not as good as we all thought. Maybe that's just the way it is. But maybe he just needs out of Atlanta. And you'll never get him at a better price than right now if you're trying to trade for him, I would think. What were you going to say, Brett?
Well, I'm just trying to understand, how is Michael Gallup not the thing anymore? Like, what have they done with him? Because he was looking up for a while there, and then all of a sudden these last couple of years, basically since McCarthy got there, he's just disappeared. I mean, he's talented. He just can't seem to get the job done.
Why like they have stuff?
I didn't mean to.
They have 2 strong receivers. Brandon Cooks is fine. Gallup's good, and they've got depth. They got Tolbert, some of these other guys. So it's like, what is going on that they just have failed with these receivers? I just don't get it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there on Gallup. Like, he would, like, I feel like when they had Amari, CD, and Gallup, there was talk that he was competing with CD in certain stretches. Now, this is obviously before CD became CD that we know now, but
Gallup also had a big injury.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I liked Gallup. I liked him coming back last year. I thought he was going to be a good late season target for you. And but to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Dallas, but I do remember 2 specific plays where Gallup had his guy beat and Dak missed him in games this year. So again, they're not clicking. Maybe that changes if that offense gets clicking and he kind of breaks out. Okay, he needs 2. He's got Puka, Nico, and Judy. Brad.
It's got to be Puka and Judy, I would think. Just because I'm firing up all my Broncos this weekend against Bears. Although I like Nico a lot. But
just to let everybody know, the Bears have 4 of their top 6 secondary players out this week.
So Judy.
Telling me there's a chance.
So we got Jalen Johnson out, we got Eddie Jackson out, we got Kyler Gordon out, and we got Blackman out, which are Blackman's the backup in the slot. So if that's where Judy's going to be running, he's going to be facing the number 3 nickel corner for most of the day, and then the number 4 when he's not. With no help, right? It's bad. It's bad in Chicago right now.
Yeah.
If the Broncos want to get right, they got their schedule lined up just perfect enough
to
face the worst defense in football. Good thing we hired a defensive head coach.
Wait, where are you going on that one? He needs 2.
Oh, I'm going Puka and Judy as well. If Judy's as long as Judy's healthy. Last I knew he had a questionable tag. But I mean,
he does not.
I would not argue with the way Judy's produced Nico over Judy, but I'll take the shot on the matchup against the number 3 nickel corner all day. And if it doesn't work out, I eat it. Because it's definitely not the safest. Nico would be the safest out of the 2 there. But Puka's the easy one, right?
I was actually thinking Judy and Nico, but you could talk me into Puka pretty easily.
Just too many targets. I mean, he still got like 10 last week?
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't the 17.5 he was averaging through 2 weeks.
Disappointed.
So terrible. What a drop off, right? Like, how do you go from 20 targets to 10 or whatever it was?
Yeah.
So which one did you go? Are you going Puka or are you going Nico?
I'm gonna go Nico. I like the matchup a little bit better.
And they throw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
With Jimmy G out, should I still start Jacobs or should I start Pacheco instead? I mean, this is tough because normally I would say it's Jacobs, and Jimmy G being out may even help Jacobs.
I would think you'd want to lean on the run more with Jimmy G out, right?
You would think, but Jacobs has not been particularly good this year. I mean, 2 weeks ago he had 9 carries for -2 yards. That's not good. But he has caught some passes. I'm probably still going Jacobs here, but I understand the concern with the way this season has started.
Let's see. I'm going Jacobs. I'm about to say they've got the Chargers, and let's just look.
That's a get-right game for a running back. Ask Alexander Madison, who's horrific and had a decent day.
I'm about to say, excuse me. So the Chargers are currently 29th against the run, so I would agree. Yeah, you still stay with Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
They are not good against the run.
The only worst teams against the run are the Denver Broncos, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Houston Texans.
Tampa, really?
Tampa currently.
Well, they got carved up by Swift. That's probably why.
Yeah, PFF's got them at 30.
But yeah,
with a
that balances 42. Out because we didn't run for anything on them.
Yeah.
We got like 12 yards. Gus Flowers or DJ Moore? Gus Edwards, Zay Flowers, or DJ Moore?
I'm going Flowers.
They don't Cleveland. Ooh.
They are.
Do you know Cleveland has given up 20 less first downs than any other team in football? They've given up 20 first downs, and the second defense with the least has given up 40.
Hold on.
In Schwartz, we trust, man. That dude is such a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah, they're really good.
He wasn't a great head coach, but he was a good DC. Yeah, I think I gotta go. Man,
I'm going DJ
Chicago.
Moore.
I'm about to say gotta go DJ Moore because Chicago's got to throw the ball a bunch.
Hold on. Cleveland has played banged up Joe Burrow, the ghost of Ryan Tannehill, and Kenny Trash Can Pickett. Give me Zay Flowers.
I don't care. I'm not going again. Cleveland's defense is good. They're still professional players out there.
I agree.
And to lead by 20 first downs, like you've given.
I'm just saying. I think the Ravens
the number 2 team
is going to be the best one that they face so far.
Yeah, I'm not playing a Raven unless I'm not playing either of those two Ravens. I mean, Cleveland's defense is top 3 right now. Obviously, Baltimore's and Philly are ahead of them, but against the run, they grade out the 3rd best, and then pass rushing, they actually grade out as the 2nd best pass rushing, and then in coverage, they're 11th. I mean, they're not the best there, but I'd still lean DJ Moore just because Chicago's going to have to throw to stay in the game. I mean, it's going to be tough for them, even though Denver's not. Obviously we know Denver's got their problems as well.
DJ Moore's ticking up anyway, right? He had 104 yards 2 weeks ago. He got in the end zone last week when they only threw the ball 22 times. And, he dropped a big one. He would have had a big day if he would have caught the sideline ball. So he's still got upside, even though the Bears' offense hasn't been good.
Mm-hmm.
This guy needs running back. I have James Cook and Josh Jacobs, and he's giving me Garrett Wilson. Who should I give up? So, which one are you trading, Josh Jacobs or James Cook for Garrett Wilson?
I mean, Josh Jacobs, you would think because of the name value. Yeah. I like what James Cook has done with Baltimore or with Buffalo so far this year. So I'd lean Josh Jacobs as much as I don't like saying that, but I love Garrett Wilson.
I agree with that, actually.
You make it sound like we never agree.
I mean,
we haven't tonight.
I'm giving up James Cook if I'm giving up either of these guys. I still think. I mean, we're talking Josh Jacobs led the league in rushing last year. Again, they need to get right as well. I don't think he's going to be that bad all year. So I'm going to go back to him. He catches passes too. But really, I don't really want to give up either of these guys for Garrett Wilson and redraft, to be completely honest. I get it. I love Garrett Wilson, but I mean, if you're betting on them bringing in a veteran quarterback,
not named Trevor Siemian,
then, I'm on board because I love Garrett Wilson, ceiling super high. It'd be great if we heard Tom Brady was going to come back and help this Jets team. The other options, though, are like Phillip Rivers, which not good. Carson Wentz, not good. There's just not a great outlook quarterback play for the Jets, who also have some offensive line problems. So that doesn't help the guys like Phillip Rivers and whatnot. So it's tough right now for the Jets offense. And let's just hope we do see somebody other than Zach Wilson. But I'd probably keep both those running backs and look for a different wide receiver, to be honest. Michael Thomas or DJ Shark. Same team, Wilson or Jones, Achane, or Stevenson. So I'm going Thomas over Shark for sure.
Yep. Easy.
Wilson
what
or Jones?
Wilson and Jones is that?
I'm guessing Garrett Wilson.
Garrett? Russell?
Oh,
Daniel?
Maybe that's Russell over Daniel. I'm taking Russell.
Yep, same.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm taking Stevenson over Achane.
Same.
Can't put up 70 every week. Actually, I don't know.
Can they?
Dolphins might. B-Rob Pacheco.
You know what's scary about that? Is they did that without Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, they didn't even have their second best player on offense. Put up 70 burger.
They did. Achane is going to be their second best player on offense.
No.
Yeah, he might be.
I mean, he's really talented, but no.
He might be. But I just don't know how. I mean, you can't do that every game, and I don't know what the touches are going to break down on a weekly basis yet, because Raheem Mostert's been awesome as well. So B-Rob Pacheco, K Goodwin. I'm just gonna assume it's Chris Goodwin with a K.
But that'd be Godwin. Who's Goodwin?
Oh yeah, Godwin. It's K Goodwin.
I mean, the only Godwin or Goodwin I can think of is Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah. And that's
I'm going B-Rob.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Agreed.
I'll go B-Rob too.
Okay. B-Rob. Way to sound so confident there.
You're welcome.
FF Shane B. I think I screwed up the QB rankings this afternoon.
Thanks, Sully.
Awesome.
Solid.
This is what happens when you give the elderly technological privileges. He says, why would Atlanta make that trade? Well, I can tell you, if you're not going to use him, you might as well get something for him, right?
I mean, Jonnu Smith seems to do just fine in this offense. That's how much they're using him.
Isn't it funny? They're resurrecting Jonnu Smith while Kyle Pitts rots. Aaron Cooley says, standard league, choose two. Shane, you paying attention or what?
Yeah.
What are you doing there? No Pornhub while we're answering questions. Standard league, choose two. Kamara, Achane, Pierce, Javonte, Roshan. Also, replace Debo with Tank Dell or roll the dice that Debo suits up. I can the second part of this, I would just play Tank Dell instead of waiting for Debo, and you don't know, even if he does play, how much action he's going to get. Tank Dell's getting 10 targets per game in an offense that throws a shit ton. I'll just take that floor and not risk it. Why? I mean, no need to risk it in that situation is my opinion.
Yeah, and the first one's definitely got to be Javonte.
Well, do you guys agree on the second part?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm fine with that.
Well,
I mean,
you gotta verbalize it. They can't read your mind there, Brad. Go ahead with the first part. I want to move shit with my mind.
Nobody's gonna get it, eh? Yeah, I agree with you. The first part, second part. I mean, definitely Javonte has to be a must start. Kamara's back, right? So I think you have to play him. He's healthy. He's fresh. It's Jameis, so they're gonna need to run the ball. I mean, I fired up my Kamara shares, and I'm not super excited because who knows what to expect. But
he's a must start.
He shouldn't be rusty, right? So.
No, he's going to be fine. Kamara's a must start. He's probably a top 6 to 8 option. He's a must start. But then Javonte against Chicago, firing it up.
I was going to go Javonte and Pierce.
Why?
You're crazy.
Because it's
Pierce is literally number 4 on this list with Roshan 5.
Okay.
I mean, right now, Pierce the running game just hasn't produced very well.
Yeah, but they play Pittsburgh, and it's a good matchup.
I mean, they faced Indianapolis and Jacksonville, and those aren't terrible matchups, and he still hasn't really produced. I mean, he was okay against Jacksonville. I mean, probably got you 13, 14 points, but it would be hard for me to trust that he's going to get, 10 might be his ceiling, 14 maybe. I don't know. He's got to get a touchdown right now to be relevant. I mean, because he's only averaging, 3 yards a carry. What is he at? 3 yards a carry right now? Yeah. No, 2.5 yards per carry through.
Isn't it weird? He looks like an undrafted running back.
I mean, their offensive line just has not been able to run block. I mean, there's no running back that's been able to produce so far on that line.
I saw a thing this week that said they may be playing 3 third stringers and 2 second stringers this week on their offensive line.
They're doing what the Bears are doing in the secondary. They're starting deep backwards.
the Bears are almost like that on the offensive line too. We might only have one guy playing right tackle. Darnell Wright might be the only guy that is in the spot he was supposed to be when the season started.
Nice.
Our left tackle and left guard are both on IR right now. It's nasty. Nate Davis had his death in the family. He didn't play much last week and don't know what he's going to do this week. So it's been fun too. But Houston's got it bad. I mean, 3 third stringers and 2 second stringers.
Okay, give me Kamara.
You know who doesn't have it bad? The
Who's
Detroit
that?
Lions. The Detroit Lions.
Man,
Who's got it better than us?
No one. I mean, the Dolphins.
We don't face the Dolphins, so I
The
can't really say
Niners.
much there. We don't face them either, so I can't say much about them. We beat the Super Bowl champs. We beat the Packers. I mean, I just don't.
The Super Bowl champs beat themselves. Let's be honest here. I mean,
both teams have to play the game. I don't, whether they did a good job or not is irrelevant.
You drop 9. You drop 9 balls.
I mean, I didn't trade for Kadarius Toney. That's their fault for making those choices.
Gurus need 2. Kirk, Sutton, Godwin, Palmer.
Sutton
and Kirk.
Yep.
I mean, are you sure? I mean, Palmer would be really hard to sit with being, number 2 in that Chargers offense. But I could see it go either way, but I'd lean Sutton and Palmer.
Last 2 weeks, Kirk's been the number 1 in the Jags offense.
Yeah, I'm going Sutton and Kirk.
I'm sorry your team lost, Shane, but at least they didn't get Auburn.
God, that was frustrating. That was a winnable game.
Caleb Williams Bowl.
I just posted today. I'm a Bears fan, and I posted today that Caleb Williams. I don't remember watching a better college quarterback in my life. I don't think. This dude was 17 for 20 for like 270 and 4 touchdowns in the first half today. Second half got a little bit messy, but then I said it'll be fun as a Bears fan to watch him go back to win his 3rd Heisman instead of coming to Chicago.
I saw that.
So dirty.
No.
Dude, he might. Why would you? I talked to other Bears fans about this. Why would you trust your career as a quarterback to Chicago?
I mean,
when you'll be the first pick next year, you can make $5 million on nil. It's not like you're not making money.
I mean, are they gonna? He's gambling. Is gonna be in a better situation. I mean, teams that pick number 1 overall are doing that for a reason.
No, but nobody has 100 years of quarterback ineptitude. We've ruined 2 top 11 picks in the last 6 years.
I mean, Jim McMahon would argue that you guys.
Jim McMahon wasn't good. He wasn't. Look at the stats. He was not good. He played with the perfect team. They didn't have to score a lot of points on offense, and they had Walter Payton running the ball. Like, Jim McMahon was good for that team, but he wasn't a good NFL quarterback.
Rex Grossman and Jim Harbaugh would also be disappointed in that statement.
Well, that's fine. They can be. Jim Harbaugh was terrible in Chicago, had better days outside of Chicago. Rex Grossman was,
Sexy Rexy.
Jay Cutler's the best quarterback we've ever had, and we hated him.
Yep.
He was the best we ever had. Okay, we need to answer these questions. Needs drop 1. Dotson, Gabe Davis, Hunter Henry. I have Ingram at tight end. It's got to be Hunter Henry. You're not dropping Gabe Davis or Dotson.
Yeah, agreed.
Dotson's getting close to being droppable in redraft, though.
I know.
Well, that's what I was thinking on. I don't drop Gabe Davis, but if you need a backup tight end, I mean, Dotson's.
You can stream one when Ingram's on bye, though.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, but
you're never going to start both Ingram and Hunter Henry. Now, the other option may be trading Hunter Henry or Ingram for something that could help you, or pair Hunter Henry and Dotson, or Hunter Henry and Gabe Davis, and get an upgrade at wide receiver or something like that. So that would be the option I would take. I don't think you need to drop any of these guys. I think you could use them to upgrade because they're all still coveted fantasy pieces.
Yeah, agreed.
Sit 1, Flowers, MT, Javante, and Thielen.
Probably Thielen for me.
Had to put it big while Shade was making faces.
I mean, Thielen's been solid target-wise the last 2 weeks.
It might be MT.
I'm going MT.
Yeah, he does have Jameis throwing him the ball this week.
Yeah,
I guess I'd agree.
That's not a bad thing if they give him volume too. Jameis might throw 4 picks, but if he's heaving it, that's good for fantasy. We saw that.
Yeah, but I think that'll be Olave more than MT, right?
Oh, I mean, it'll be everybody.
Yeah.
But they have to let him throw 40 times to get the old Jameis, and I don't think they're going to do that. I think they'll try to throw 20 to 25 times. So,
yeah,
I think I'm sitting at
MT. The volume is there for the rest of the guys. Yeah, Cleveland's defense is really good so far this year.
Yes,
but obviously they face some so-so quarterbacks. So
thank you.
So I don't care. That defense is good.
Lions, yeah, baby.
Why you got that Green Bay colored B there, Black Mamba?
Shouldn't it be black?
Go Lions. James Cook or D.A. Chain, non-PPR flex. Thanks, guys. Love the show. Hey, we appreciate you.
Man.
Hey, I dare everybody right now, real quick. You want to speed this up? You want to get your question answered faster? Smash the like button or subscribe. Or if you want to skip the line, you can super chat. I'm going James Cook.
Yep. 100% agree.
Yeah.
Also go Lions.
No, that part's shit.
I'm pretty excited. My Gibbs and Jack Campbell jerseys just came in today, so I'm pretty excited.
Oh, nice. Hi. Trade Herbert for Bijan Robinson and Daniel Jones. What do you think? Good trade or bad? If this is one QB, I'm smashing that. I'll take Robinson over Herbert by himself in a 1 QB league, and I'll ride with Daniel Jones. I'll stream quarterback. I don't care. I want Bijan. If it's a 1 QB, if it's a super flex, I'm still going to do the trade because Bijan and Daniel Jones, I'm doing it. I want Bijan and Daniel Jones.
I'd feel better about this in a redraft situation.
I'm assuming that's what it is redraft.
That'd be my guess. So if it's redraft, then sure. If it's Dynasty,
I'm still doing it.
I mean, if it's a Dynasty 1 QB, sure, but I'm not a Dynasty Superflex.
I don't know. Bijan's different. Bijan's different. I think he's going to be in line for one of those top 3 picks and even in Superflex drafts.
I just traded Bijan in a 1 QB Dynasty league for 4 firsts.
That's insanity.
Yeah, he's going to be competing. If he stays healthy this year, he's going to be competing for – we'll see Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, probably 1-2 like normal, and then he'll be competing with Jalen Hurts and whoever else for that 3rd pick, I bet. I'm guessing Bijan and Herbert have about an even value going into next offseason in the drafts. I bet they go pretty close to each other by itself. Obviously, it would suck if Daniel Jones is done after this year, but I don't think they really can with that contract. I don't know if they can get out of it. If they can get out of it, maybe, but I feel like he's got at least this year and next year in New York. So,
yep, he agrees. Niner agrees.
What? What are you laughing at?
I don't know.
The way Brad read that name. I heard it Niner MMA.
Oh, Niner MMA. Yep, that's probably true.
Luis. Love is number 1 QB right now. What the fuck is going on in the NFL? That's a total fool's gold. Do you know that his week 4 performance was the lowest QBR by any quarterback in a game this season? And Packer fans want to give us shit about Justin Fields?
I mean, he ran into the buzzsaw.
Oh, the Detroit buzzsaw. Detroit was, I thought they were going to give it up there for a minute in the second half. Did you get worried? Did you have flashbacks in the second half there? Well,
I was texting my best friend back home, and I told him, I was like, dude, this is one of those where they lulled themselves to sleep after the halftime. Like, they did that so many times in the past where 3rd quarter comes and they've got a lead and they just kind of hit the brake and they just let it slide. And I'm like, dude, come on. You've got to put your foot on these guys' throat and finish this thing off. And they did finally, but
I was thinking about you.
I do appreciate Monty though. He was crushing it.
I mean, Monty wasn't very good. He just got a bunch of carries.
He's a strong between the tackles guy, though. I mean, especially as the game went on, they started to wear down.
He can, well, yeah, but I mean, this is 3.8 Monty. That's what I call him all the time. Instead of 3-card Monty, he's 3.8 Monty. Like, he's never been even average as a runner. He's hard, he's tough, and he can take all the workload. But I mean, he is clearly the second best back in that backfield. But he's good for their style of football.
Huge.
That's
for their
the hard
style
part.
Of football.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we shall see. Derek says PPR start 1, Ayuk, Kirk, Michael Thomas, Achane, Tank Dell, Dame Pierce. I'm starting Ayuk.
Yep.
Same.
Especially if Debo's out.
Yep.
Yep.
No, QB. Yes, QB. Make up your mind.
I like it.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
What a string of messages there. No, QB. Yes, QB. Thanks, guys. Who faster, Achane or Hill? I don't know. They're both really fast. Godwin, Tampa Bay wide receiver. I was right on that.
That's what we're thinking. Yep.
Thanks. If D. Watson doesn't play, does Ford ranks go up? He said no, Pornhub. I don't think so. I mean, Watson's playing like Dookie sauce anyway, so they need to establish the run and help out the quarterback, whether it's Watson or who's their backup there.
Is it still DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson?
Is he second or
let me check.
I didn't know if he was second on the depth chart or not. I want to see that kid play. He might be better than Watson right now.
He was fun. Let's see. Yes, he's still Dorian Thompson-Robinson's 2 and PJ Walker is 3.
PJ Walker, let's go.
Hey, make sure you take care of that number 3 quarterback that couldn't make the Bears. Nathan Peterman is on the team.
Yeah, Watson's expected to play.
That's all you need to know about the Bears QB room.
Yep, as of an hour ago, he's expected to play. Is what Kimberly A. Martin of ESPN reports.
Leave me alone, Shane. I just got in my 2 big Justin Fields cards today that were once worth $5,500 combined, and now might buy me a cup of coffee.
$550. Yeah.
No, it's probably still $2,000 worth, but that's a big drop either way. It hurts. Watson, Mostert, Moss, Debo, Evans, Andrews, Collins, 49ers, Jake Moody, Bench, Pierce, Hunter Henry, Cook, Reynolds, Achane. Any changes? I also lost Nick Chubb and traded Saquon, which really hurt. Any changes in the starting lineup?
Achane over
Collins. I mean, Cook. That's James Cook, right?
Is it James Cook or is it Dalvin?
That's a big that matters a lot here. Dalvin stays right where he's at.
Yeah.
James Cook probably goes in over Collins for me.
Yeah. So what I would do is I'd go Achane over Moss. Watch the Debo situation, and if Debo's out, slide Collins up there, and then put James Cook, if it's James Cook, in at the flex.
Moss has to be in the lineup.
You think so?
He gets too many touches. Andy's getting receptions. He's scored 20 and 22 points in his 2 starts.
And he's facing the Rams, which
never mind. Never mind, because then you'd be starting Mostert and Achane. I take that back.
I'm fine with that. I mean, they scored 100 points together last week. Like, they can be fine together.
Happen again.
But James Cook is if that's James Cook, has he answered down here? That's Foot Legend here.
Hold on, I'll look.
No, he hasn't.
So
if it's James Cook, that's what I do.
Yeah, if it's James Cook,
I take him over Collins. If it's Dalvin, I keep him on the bench and I play what you got. That's what I do.
But otherwise, no, I think you've got your best starters in.
Yeah. Yep. Pick a flex in PPR. Tank Dell, Palmer, Elijah Moore. This is easily Tank Dell.
Tank Dell.
I think in a week or two it'll probably be Josh Palmer, though. I mean, because with Mike Williams out, Palmer's going to get a nice uptick. But yeah,
he's not going to get all of it though.
What about Quentin Johnston?
I mean, they're going to try to
get. Tell them about Quentin Johnson.
Well, you guys know that I don't like Quentin Johnson, but they're going to try to get their first round wide receiver involved with Mike Williams out. Like, they're going to try, and it's probably not going to work because he's not good. He's not as good as most
Palmer
pros.
is good. Like, Palmer's played well when given an opportunity there.
But I don't see them. They throw to the running back a lot too. So if Eckler's back, then that ruins a lot of targets for Palmer because they just haven't been thrown to the running back with Austin Eckler out, not near as much. Tank Dell I can't not take Tank Dell with 10 targets and he's more dynamic in my opinion than Palmer is. Palmer's probably more reliable, I guess, if you want to say that, but Tank Dell, that offense is cooking in the pass game, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to go around in Houston.
Craig Wayne,
always in here. Thanks for the support. We appreciate it. Pick 2 PPR, Kyron Williams. Nope. Zach Moss, Jalen Warren. Kyron Williams and Zach Moss fairly easily for me. Alexander Madison can kick rocks.
Now I see what you did there. Yeah, Kyron Williams and Zach Moss for me.
Yep. Lock it in.
This
is a
sad
state of affairs.
God,
I hate that we're here.
State of affairs when we have to even think about this.
And unfortunately, I don't even really have to think about it. Like,
it's Tank Dell. You trust the quarterback more.
I mean, Garrett's still getting peppered with targets. I mean, he had 8 and 9 the last 2 weeks. I mean, he's still getting targets. They're
but what?
Not good
4
targets.
of them catchable?
That's the problem. The quality of targets is below the basement.
I mean, Trevor Siemian is probably going to be an upgrade when he starts. And it's probably not going to be very long before that happens. And that's sad to say. But right now, as long as Zach Wilson's the quarterback, I just can't not take Dell again. Like I said, 10 targets, 10 better targets. Then Garrett Wilson might get 20, and Tank Dell might get 10. And Tank Dell might still double him on catchable targets.
It's brutal.
Thanks, Niner.
So sad.
Jimmy G out. It's the Chargers defense a good choice.
Yeah, I think so. I think
is Joey Bosa still like? Is he still like not full?
I think he's healthy. Last time I checked.
I mean, Jimmy G being out doesn't change the.
Joey Bosa's questionable at this point.
Yeah, they don't really change my outlook on the Chargers defense.
He just got rolled out for Week 4.
Joey Bosa is out?
Yeah, according to Sleeper.
Oh.
That defense has just been horrible. And really, honestly, how big of a difference is Jimmy G to Brian Hoyer?
And they're without Derwin James.
Yeah, it wouldn't change my outlook. But if you like the Chargers defense, like, I just don't think there's a big enough difference between Hoyer and Garoppolo. I mean, Hoyer, I guess he chucks it up a little bit more, so you got a little bit more touchdown upside. But Chargers, I think Chargers are one of the worst teams getting pressure right now, aren't they?
Yes. Let me see. I can tell you here. Pass rush. The Chargers, well, I mean, they're at 21 in the league for pass rush, so they're not
Which is
great.
Well below their expectation with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. And Joey Bosa's out, so they're not getting a lot of pressure. Yeah, hey, tell us who number 32 is.
Number 32 is the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh shit! It's not even us.
Houston.
We've got Chicago. We've got 1 sack on the season. We've got 1 sack.
Yeah, pass rush grades. Minnesota's at the bottom of the league.
I think think some guys have more sacks on one play than we have this season. Start 1, Fields or Stroud, then Amari or Evans, PPR 6-point passing TD.
Stroud and Evans for me.
I'm on the opposite side of this one.
You're going Fields and Amari? I could go Amari.
Fields and Amari.
I'm actually going Stroud and Amari because I don't trust Evans against Marshawn Lattimore to last the whole game.
Yeah, Amari's a definite out of the two receivers. I want to go Fields.
This Denver defense gave up 70. Bears got to score 25, right?
Yeah, you got to think they do are. So I'd probably go Fields there.
This is the last week before I give up on him, though. He can't get right this week, and it ain't gonna happen. He's got a nice 5-game stretch against porous defenses. If he can get back to that week 7 to 11, 12 guy that we saw last year, that'd be great. I could really use that uptick in net worth. Start 2: Cooper, Godwin, Myers, McLaurin, Palmer. Cooper, McLaurin for me.
I agree.
Let's see. So Terry Max going against Philadelphia. He's getting 6 targets a game at best. They're all catchable targets with him though. I don't love that matchup. I mean, he's probably a low end wide receiver too this week. I wouldn't hate it if you chose Palmer in this situation, but I'd probably lean Cooper and McLaurin as well. Palmer would be the other one I'd consider.
You're really high on Palmer, huh?
I think he steps into Mike Williams' role and he'll get 70 to 80% of the Mike Williams production, I would think. I mean, they'll get Quentin Johnson or try to get him involved, but I think you're looking at their top 2 wide receivers once Keenan and Mike are gone. I mean, I think Palmer and Quentin are their next 2 top receivers in the future. So I think he plays well and produces well. McLaurin is his targets are gonna be tough this week. I mean, Philadelphia's just so good.
I know it's a different quarterback for McLaurin, but I feel like McLaurin's one of those guys that's close to quarterback proof. In 2 matchups against Philly last year, he had 21.2 points and 28.3 points, playing 86 to 88% of the snaps and averaging 10 targets and 7 catches. I'm going Terry Cooper.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, if you don't want to go McLaurin, I personally go Godwin third. But yeah, Cooper. It sounds like we're all on board with that, and then a little bit of difference after that. Full PPR: Javonte, Achane, or Madison.
Javonte.
Javonte.
Yep.
Stack up the Dolphins. Zay Flowers or Adam Thielen. Full PPR.
Thielen's been a crazy amount of targets, but I love Zay Flowers.
But he's going against Cleveland. I'm going Zay Flowers.
Cleveland's corners are really good. I mean, they're not amazing, but they're really good. It'll be a tough matchup for them, but
I mean, I'm definitely going Adam Thielen if you need the safe play. Like if you feel like you're in a lead and you can't take a 0, Adam Thielen's not going to get you a 0. Zay Flowers.
He's facing Minnesota. Yeah, give me Adam Thielen.
I'll go Adam Thielen. Yep, I'll go Adam Thielen. Little revenge game, and they can't stop anything.
Anybody.
We just heard they're worse than Chicago at something, and that's
if Miami faced them, they'd put up 70.
Yeah, they'd put up 100 maybe. Start Dell or Gainwell in the Dell. Jeff, throw Dell in there and enjoy it. Can you choose 2, a half PPR? Jordan Addison, Terry McLaurin, London, Gabe Davis, Khalil Herbert. I'm going Terry McLaurin and Drake London. No, Terry McLaurin and Addison for me.
Same.
Yeah, I'd be all right with that.
You don't want London in London?
Hey, that might be. Hey, you might be on to something. Brad says no. London's going to score 38 fantasy points tomorrow. And I want to hear Shane light up Brad in the chat. I'm about
to say that'd be great because I've been starting London. I started London when he got me a goose egg, so I wouldn't be upset about that.
Should have bought a Montgomery jersey. Gibbs will be great in 4 years when he goes to another team.
When he goes to the Eagles for a 4th-round pick.
Yeah.
People keep, 4 games in, they're already saying it's Swift 2.0. I'm like, slow it down. He's a rookie. Slow it down.
There's a trend, though. just like Detroit being bad and disappointing for decades, it's the same trend with running backs that's going here.
Times are changing, my friends.
You remember when they got Carry On and he broke their 100-yard streak, and then they just
busted
quit
his leg
him?
and
Actually,
he got hurt too.
He was hurt all the time. Higgins, Swift, or Collins for the flex. He's crying Auburn.
Carry On, John.
It's got to be Higgins, right?
No.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No.
Against Tennessee?
It's got to be Swift. You cannot, as much as I am, I've never been a big Swift fan, but the Eagles are using him right. He's rushed for 130-plus yards 2 games in a row. They're not going to stop with him. He is the start here, in my opinion.
I'm right down the middle on this one with both of you. Like, Higgins is playing Tennessee. Tennessee's past defense is garbage. It's a get-right game for Cincinnati. But then Swift has been fantastic.
Problem with Tennessee is Tennessee's defense is solid against the run, but not solid against the pass. So it's kind of where I struggle. Like, Higgins could have a nice game, or Swift is facing Washington, which Washington is kind of the middle of the pack with everything, right? Like, their defense is okay, even though they've got
Thank you, Ron Rivera.
Yeah, they're just this is some 9-7. What is the Jeff Fisher statement?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see where Swift is the more ceiling and potentially a safer play, because who knows why Cincinnati's gone crazy, but Cincinnati is just not who they've been. So
yeah,
I guess I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with Swift, but
for me, here's why it's easy. You've got the Eagles offense, which is playing better than the Bengals offense. You've got somebody getting 20-plus touches versus somebody that disappears quite often for the name that he's got, right? Like, how many guys in Higgins' tier that are as loved as much as Higgins, like, disappear as often as him? Not very many. Yeah. I just think you get the floor and the ceiling with Swift and a better offense with more touchdown upside, at least until Joe Burrow is healthy. And then, that may change a bit, but they just don't look right now either.
Look, T. Higgins is on a bad game, great game, bad game, alternating pattern right now. So we're in the great game section of that. I'm making up complete BS. Go with Swift.
But we're not deep enough, because this is something, I don't know if you guys remember.
It sounds like it's getting deep in here.
I don't know if you guys remember Vincent Jackson, but it was a 2-year stretch where it was like odd numbered weeks he would go off, and even he wouldn't score any. And it lasted for like a 2-year stretch or something when he was with the Bucks. But 4 weeks into the season is too early to start the odd even stretch.
We're close though.
Trend.
So news just popped up that Derek Carr is starting tomorrow. That's crazy.
That helps me a ton in Scott Fishbowl. I'm going to put him in right now.
Per Adam Schefter.
You can get that later. Sanders, Achane, or B-Rob at the flex. Sanders looks like he's going to be probably not playing, right?
Yeah.
I don't even think he practiced today, I think is the notification I got.
Questionable for week 4. He didn't practice on Friday and is now questionable against
That's
Minnesota.
Not a good sign. I'm going B-Rob here.
Against Philadelphia. I'd leave Sanders in, but I would be paying close attention.
What did we...
B-Rob had 10 for 70 last week against Buffalo.
He's catching the ball out of the backfield, too. So what did Rachaad White do in the pass game? That's what I want to know. Rachaad White. What did he do in the pass game?
3 catches for 24 yards. 3 targets, 3 catches, 24
And then what did he do running the ball?
14 for 38.
Yeah.
So
the Bucks offensive line was, and Washington's not much better.
I'm not doing Sanders. If you don't want to do B-Rob versus Eagles, I'm going Achane. A running back not practicing on Friday scares me. He might get 8 touches on the week, even if he does start. So I'll go Achane, at least at minimum. Achan's got 50-point upside.
51-point upside.
I traded Moss for ETN. Thoughts? Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. That is the easiest trade I've seen all year. Brad's making faces, but JT's coming back at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. For some reason,
you thought he was trading ETN away.
That's what I thought. I was like, what?
Oh
no, this is awesome.
So yes, no, that's an easy win. Well, and I think isn't Taylor already on the pup, but scheduled to return?
I mean, this is the last week that he has to miss, but apparently he still doesn't want to play with the Colts.
Well, but news a day ago, he's ramping up and eyeing a Week 5 return. ESPN's reporting, so he's ready to be removed from the pup list, which is great for most of my leagues. I've even traded for him.
But the rumor is he still doesn't want to play for the Colts, so we still don't know exactly what's going to happen. We don't know if he's going to dig in or if he's going to give in. So we'll have to see on that, but either way, this is a great trade. You'll take ETN over Moss every day.
Yep.
Foot Legend says it was Dalvin, not James Cook.
Yeah, so
then
what we said earlier still stands.
Yeah.
Yep.
Must bench one. Puka, Garrett Wilson, Addison Collins, half PPR.
No.
I gotta say Garrett Wilson.
You have to think about. I'm about to say this is the sad thing. We're all about to say Garrett Wilson here.
Yeah, it's Garrett Wilson. That's really sad.
The problem though is that Garrett Wilson this week is going to get 15 to 20 points.
Garrett Wilson's going to score 38 this week
because he's going to hear all this and he's just going to walk up to the line and say, "Hand me the ball and I'll take it."
You guys know what I always say: process over results. You've got Puka getting, averaging 14 targets per game.
Yeah.
You've got Addison in an offense that will have to throw a shit ton all the time with a quarterback that can actually get it to his receivers. You've got Houston, who has to throw it 40, 45 times every game and has a quarterback getting it to his receivers. And then you've got the Jets, who should probably throw 40, 45 times, but they can't because they have Zach Wilson as their quarterback, who can't get it to his wide receivers. It's easily Garrett Wilson, and it's sad, but
man, and the world's gonna have to watch it because it's Sunday Night Football. We're gonna watch that.
Tom Brady, please come back. He's the best option. PPR, Tank or Ridley?
I think it's gotta be Tank, right? Ridley's been rough here the last few weeks.
I'm starting Ridley. We ain't far enough to sit our our super studs.
I'm about to say he's been getting targeted. They've just not been catchable, or he's been dropping them.
No,
8
the
targets,
Jags
2 catches, 7 targets, 3 catches. So
that's another offense that's not clicking yet.
Yep. They are pretty high up there on the drops list. Rick, you convinced me. I'm going to go Ridley too.
Yeah, we're just not far enough.
You didn't even have to do much to convince him.
I mean, we always say start your studs, right?
Start
Calvin Ridley is a stud.
Garrett Wilson's a stud.
Okay, the Garrett Wilson thing is completely different, though. Ridley's got a quarterback that can turn it on, right? Trevor Lawrence is not Zach Wilson. Let's just straighten that up right now.
Yeah.
That situation is not the same.
Fair point.
Start Ayuk or Higgins as wide receiver 2. I already got Chase starting.
Yeah, Ayuk.
Ayuk for me as well.
Jaws
was
my man.
Speaking of a lot to go around in Houston, Mechie's still a hold in Dynasty. Someone dropped Justin Ross. I would still try to find a spot for Ross, but I'm not dropping Mechie.
Same. Why did y'all both go base on that?
Do what?
When you were introducing Jaws, you both dropped an octave.
Jaws has literally, I think Jaws was in the crowd for our first live stream, and by crowd I mean I think it was just Jaws. I think it was just Jaws. If there was other people in there, it was probably other RotoHeat members, team members.
We chat in the Discord with Jaws. Like Jaws and us go way back. When we hit big time and we're huge, Jaws will be there with us.
Nice.
if we don't hit big time and we go all the way to 0,
when we hit big time, Jaws will be with us.
Even if we go to 1, it'll be Jaws.
It'll be Jaws.
Even if we go backwards. We'll start and end the same. Hey, guys, I'm worried about Mixon. Other choices are Roshan Johnson or Hall. Non-PPR, thank you.
No, I feel good about Mixon there.
Still going Mixon.
Yeah.
I mean, Breece Hall it should be considered, but not in that offense right now.
Ronaldo said, thank you so much. Not a problem, Ronaldo. John Kelly says, pick one full PPR. Ford, Godwin, Thielen. We're picking one.
I'm hooked on a Thielen in a revenge game.
Let's go. I'm with Thielen.
I always prioritize running back. And I think that's exactly what I'm not going to do here. And I think I'm going to go Thielen too. You guys got me.
More than a Thielen.
Yeah.
Yep. All that.
I don't know. I keep going back and forth. Sit one in PPR. You are not sitting Lockett. So that's cool.
I mean, it's got to be
Puka,
Higgins, right?
Higgins.
I'm
sitting Higgins.
Lockett.
You are crazy.
No,
you are
not.
Absolutely crazy. It's ridiculous to sit Lockett. Lockett is a top 12 option every week. It's just people got to quit hating on this guy. Why? He produces just consistently.
Week 1, 4 points. Week 2, 29.9. Week 3, 9.4. Give me T. Higgins over Tyler Lockett.
I mean, 7 targets, 10 targets over the last 2 games. Higgins 8 and 12. Last week, Higgins only caught 2 of them. I mean, I understand where you're going here.
I'm going Higgins. It's not a question for me.
I like Lockett's matchup against the Giants better than Higgins against Tennessee.
So this is T. Higgins in 3 weeks. Since we want to throw out the Lockett 3 weeks, 0 in week 1, 28.9 in week 2, 4.1 in week 3.
Well, and in coverage, the Giants are one of the worst teams. I mean, they just don't do well in coverage right now. So, I mean, for me, it's like, well, Tennessee's kind of middle of the road. Their defense is always middle of the road, right? And they're just kind of a fine defense, nothing spectacular. Seattle's throwing the ball a bunch. I find it hard pressed to believe that Lockett doesn't get you a decent fantasy week this week. Could it happen? Sure. We've seen it already this year, but the same could be said about Higgins. Could it happen?
Yeah,
sure.
I trust Seattle way more right now than I trust Cincy. Yeah, and then Puka, I'm sitting Higgins. We did talk about that, but Sully, thank you. You probably, that was 14 minutes ago that you dropped that in there, so we appreciate it. Albert, what is up? Albert's another guy that's always here, so we appreciate you. Hello, everyone. Hello. Jeff says, thanks, fam. No problemo.
You got it.
Pick 2 to start. Ford, Madison, Sanders. Put Sanders out there in a walking boot, and I'd start him over Madison.
Yeah.
Okay, not really. I'm probably starting Ford and Madison this week because I don't trust Sanders at all with not practicing on Friday. And
Madison's facing Carolina. And I think the only thing Carolina's defense is good at is the run, right? Let's see here.
Who's facing Carolina?
Madison.
So Madison and Sanders are facing. I wish Sanders was healthy because Vikings can't stop anything. But
actually, it doesn't look like. It looks like Carolina's run defense is not great either. I mean, the only thing they really are good at is pass rushing. So Madison could have a solid startable week. When does Kareem Hunt start to take over the backfield, though? Right? Like everyone kept saying, Kareem coming back now, he's probably going to get a decent workload. So it's hard to. I mean, at what point does Ford become?
For me, this has nothing to do with Ford and Madison. It has everything to do with Sanders not practicing on a Friday and not knowing how much work he's going to get. Because Chuba's already involved, right? And if Sanders is hobbled and because it's a groin issue, right? Like that's never good for one. If he's limited on touches, it's just a bad spot because Ford and Madison are going to get quite a few, even if the other running backs in their backfield. Cam Akers could get just as involved this week as Kareem Hunt is for Cleveland, right? So it's just not good, but I'm going to go with the healthy guys over the injured guy that didn't practice on a Friday. I would guess that Sanders is ruled out anyway and makes this easy.
Yeah. I'm with you guys.
He wants to know also, should I play another wide receiver for Debo since he's a game time decision?
I mean, it depends on what you have. But
it sounds like they think he's going to play, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
what was said today, is that they expect him to play? So, I mean, it just depends on who the guy is. If he's somebody that is somebody that you can count on that isn't going to get you 0, then I don't argue against it. Debo without Ayuk on the field, like we saw in week 2, is way different than when Ayuk is on the field, right? Debo is not used nearly as much. Ayuk is the number 1 wide receiver there. So I don't have a problem with that with Ayuk back if you have a good option, but it all depends on that option.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Tyler Algier, Zeke, Gus the Bus, or Zach Charbonnet in full PPR?
I'm going Algier.
Probably Gus, right?
I'm probably going Gus here. If he's back from that concussion, he's going to get a ton of touches. Yeah. I can't wait till this answers Zach Charbonnet, though. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So all my Zach Charbonnet shares aren't sitting there with 8 fantasy points on the year. Be great. Brees Hall, Breda, Gainwell. Thinking Eagles can get a lead and just run the clock, PPR. I mean, it looks like Saquon might go. What
Really?
a freaking animal. Yeah, he's a game-time decision with a high ankle sprain after missing only 1 week. That dude's a freak. I'm probably going Brees Hall here.
That's kind of where I'm leaning.
Yeah, Brees Hall for me. Knowing that Saquon might play. If Saquon were out, I'd probably consider Breida. Just gross.
Yeah,
well, this next
I played
one's
him
easy for me.
I played him in a league. Well, then go ahead, Brad. What are you doing? Pick 3.
Pick
Tank
3.
Dell, Ridley, Evans, Amari, Tutu.
Dell, Ridley, Amari.
I'm probably Ridley, Evans, Amari.
I am too.
I don't love that matchup. I would not jump on Evans.
It's so concerning.
This week feels like the Godwin week with Evans facing Lattimore.
0.5 PPR, 12 teams. 2-1. Mahomes, CMC, ETN, Walker, AJ Brown, Puka, Goddard, Michael Thomas, London, Kendrick Bourne, Hollywood, Dowdle. Okay, guys, we don't have to put our whole roster here. So Mims, Anthony Richardson, Zay Jones. Any trade moves?
I'm trading somewhere in that Bourne, Hollywood area and upgrading a running back.
I mean, you're going to have to, if you want to really upgrade running back, you got to give a better option,
not upgrade, just add depth at running back versus what they've got.
Better depth. Yeah. I don't like Dowdle as solid depth. I mean, I would try to package Dowdle with somebody for a better RB3.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm doing. If this is a redraft league and you can only start 1 quarterback, I'm probably trading Mahomes, pair Mahomes and one of those guys up. I'm fine with starting Anthony Richardson in a 1 QB redraft. I'm fine starting any quarterback, basically. I think that's what you're going to get the most out of. I think that's how you're going to get the best player, and it's going to upgrade your flex spot in that lineup. That's what I do. I add another running back that gets 20 touches a week and play Anthony Richardson. hopefully that guy can stay on the field, because if he does, he's going to be one of the best fantasy quarterbacks there is. So that's just the big question with him. It's probably risky, but you can get a waiver wire guy. I always stream quarterbacks in redraft leagues.
It's normally pretty easy to do, especially if it's just a one quarterback league.
Yeah, and you can play matchups, and
especially in 12-person. I mean, you can always find quarterbacks out there.
But what I would do is just get Anthony Richardson, and then get Minshew. And if Richardson misses time, Minshew's fine fill in.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
and that's 2 flex. So I really like upgrading one of those flex to a monster guy. Mm-hmm. I think that's the way you do it. Use that Mahomes name recognition and get a monster at your second flex spot. CeeDee Lamb or James Cook? Flex 1 PPR. Shane, who you going here?
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, it's pretty easily CeeDee Lamb, right?
Yeah.
That's where I'm going. Sanders should play. Panthers optimistic. Yeah, I just don't trust it.
I mean, if it is, it's going to be, they're going to limit the touches, right? What's he probably going to get? 10 rushing attempts and maybe a few targets in the passing game. Could be wrong, but that'd be my guess.
Mike GP says, would you trade away Tutu and Hunt for Nico?
Yes.
No.
If this is a redraft, I think Tutu and Nico stay real similar until LA brings, Cooper Kupp or somebody back, then you could maybe see a dip. But Hunt's kind of the wild card here, right? Does he get heavily involved the rest of the season? Well, that could be huge if you lost somebody, right? So, I mean, if you really wanted to try, it's hard for me to agree to do it. I mean, I like Nico a lot, but you're getting similar production out of Tutu right now.
And I don't know that Cooper Kupp's back this year. Like,
he might not be, right?
This year?
I mean, he might not.
They're talking about this being a what do they call that? Degenerative hamstring issue.
I didn't see that.
Degenerative word is brutal.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, I like Tutu and Hunt. I think Hunt could end up being the top, 18 to 24 back for the rest of the season. And Tutu and Nico's probably a little bit better, but Tutu's getting a ton of targets right now. He's producing. And I would expect the Rams to be throwing a lot the whole year, no matter what. So you're a little insulated there, but I think the 2 players, unless you're never going to start Hunt no matter what, unless your running backs are that good, then, maybe take the upgrade. But okay, so Puka or Christian Kirk? Puka for me.
Puka.
Yes.
DJ Moore or Tyler Lockett?
Puka or Kirk, DJ Moore, and Lockett.
Oh, yeah. Is it?
So it's Puka.
Is it 2 different questions? That's what I'm wondering.
No, I don't think so. I think it's Puka. Or who are you starting?
One of the 4.
Who are you starting out of these guys?
It doesn't read like that, though. Puka or Christian Kirk, DJ Moore, and Lockett. It almost sounds like trade Puka for 3 guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I would take those 3 for sure. I mean, I'm starting Lockett out of all these guys. If it's just pick one of the 4. So if it's pick one on each side, then it's Puka and Lockett for me.
I'm probably leaning.
Yeah.
Probably leaning Puka and DJ Moore if you get to pick 2. And if it's just one, I really like DJ Moore matchup this week.
I can tell you that the Bears have 0 problems breaking your heart and making all of your likes of the matchups burn in hell.
I'll just rank them. It'd be Puka, Lockett, Kirk, and Moore for me.
So I would be Puka, Lockett, Moore, Kirk is what order I would be in. Would you guys go Henry or Goddard? Pierre really needs our help here, Shane. So quit pooping and give an answer.
I'm gonna go Henry.
Has Goddard really been that bad this year?
I'm going Goddard. It has been rough.
Goddard. Seven targets each of the last 2 weeks is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, then go Goddard.
That'll turn around.
Yep.
Did you change your mind?
Yeah.
You get sold so easy, and you're my salesman.
Yeah.
Have you been buying stuff from these companies you're calling?
No. Well, a couple of them was already customers.
Shane says, sorry, Rick, I gotta quit. I've spent too much money when I'm talking to these business owners. Also, defense, Saints or Broncos. Thanks again. Broncos are not. I get it. It's the Bears, but the Broncos are not a defense that we're looking to start now. I'm taking the Saints.
Never starting this year.
Yeah.
Herbert, Pollard, James Cook, Chase, Ayuk, Laporta, Swift. Bench, Watson, Waller, Collins, Higgins, Jones. I'm 0-3. Any advice?
Be patient.
Hold. Yeah, I'm about to say, you got to hold pat. I mean, that's such a good
solid
lineup.
Yeah,
you won't stay that way for long.
No, it's been unlucky. And sometimes you just run into terrible, terrible luck. I had a league last year where up until the final week of the season, I was the top scoring team, and I ended up in 9th place. So sometimes you run into bad luck. Yeah. Yep, and that's real fun in a Dynasty league when you trade your first rounder because you expect to compete, and you don't even make the playoffs, and that team gets the number 5 pick. Oh, that was fun. Tutu or Flowers in a non-PPR. I think we got to go Flowers here, right? In a non-PPR, Tutu's making his living on receptions. He did get in the end zone last week, I think, but before that, he had like 18 receptions or something without a touchdown. I like the Ravens to be able to get into the end zone, so I'm going Flowers here.
Y'all are so confusing.
Why?
Because you haven't picked Flowers for anything else because of the Cleveland matchup. And I feel like Flowers is also a PPR guy.
Yeah, but I'm looking at which offense has a better shot of getting in the end zone. Which one of these two guys has a better shot to get in the end zone, even if it is Cleveland? I don't live off of matchups as much as most people. Now, running backs against Cleveland,
I'm going Tutu
away from. But I just think that
Lamar Jackson. Explain yourself.
Well, I mean, the matchup's better for one, and two, they're both PPR guys in my opinion. I think Indy, based on the defense they're going against, LA going against the defense that they are, actually has the better chance to get in the end zone.
You think that a Rams offense hasn't been great against Indy? Indy's played pretty good on defense.
They force turnovers pretty nicely. So,
and we know Stafford will give those up.
He's all about the turnovers.
I just think Flowers has a better shot at getting in the end zone. So tomorrow I'm putting money on Flowers for anytime touchdown scorer.
Crazy thing is that of those Tutu's the only one that's gotten a touchdown this year, which doesn't make any sense to me. But Zay Flowers has done better receiving.
But we also got Rashad Bateman out, OBJ out. So two of the wide receivers that were supposed to be starters are out. It is now Flowers as the wide receiver there. It's him and Mark Andrews in the red zone, right? Isaiah Likely's probably in there more than any of the other wide receivers that they've got active. I mean, do we think that Nelson Aguilar is going to take as much action as Rashad Bateman and
that out
OBJ?
Into the world?
I've already seen it.
This will be the game where Aguilar gets 2 touchdowns. People are like, what?
Freddie needs to know: are we playing Achane or Stevenson?
Stevenson, right? We had this earlier as a part of a question, I think.
I'm going Stevenson.
Yeah, I need to see Achane do it a little bit more than one game in a crazy situation.
Yeah, in a game where his team doesn't score 70 and he doesn't have 4 touchdowns. What a game, man. I hope Chicago scores at least 18 tomorrow. I have both points. Lamar and Tua.
Like 18 points? Yeah, I hope they do too.
I just don't have a lot of faith in them right now. I have both Lamar and Tua. Should I trade one for Amon-Ra? Yes.
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 Yeah.
Trade Lamar. I don't know. Lamar's playing pretty good right now too, but
I'm about to say I was leaning Tua because I mean,
you're gonna go to the health side.
It is. Last year scared me, man. That was brutal.
You
think he stays healthy all year?
Okay. Why would I be any more confident in Lamar staying healthy all year than I am Tua staying healthy all year? So if we were talking somebody else that hasn't also missed a lot of time over the last 2 years like Lamar, then maybe I can get on board with that. But both of these guys could get hurt and miss time, and I think it's relatively even on the likelihood. So I'm going to go with the guy that literally just helped put up 70 points last week. And if we remember the matchup between Lamar and Tua last year, man, that was a fun fantasy day too, right? Right. Tua and Mike McDaniel are a match made in heaven. That offense is awesome. I want Tua.
The answer to this question is yes.
But yes. Yeah. Trade a quarterback for Amon-Ra.
Yeah, but I was letting them know which one, and I got passionate about it, so I'm sorry. Shane, do you have anything to say about the Lamar versus Tua? Be quick, though.
Lamar's played in more games than Tua, and it's not just from a career perspective. Like, Lamar has 2 seasons of 15 games. Tua doesn't have a season with more than 13. So
take that under consideration.
Well, Lamar Jackson's played more seasons, right?
That's what I'm saying. But Tua is in his 4th season. He played 10 games in year 1, 13 in year 2 and 3. Lamar, God dang it.
I just want the last 2 years.
It's 12 and 12 and 13 and 13. Tua's played 1 more game in each than Lamar.
Okay, so it's like I said,
it's
they're
pretty
just
close.
as likely to miss time, right? That's what I was saying. I hope they both stay healthy the whole year because they're both great for football and great to watch. I got Najee and Hall as my 2 running backs. Wish me luck. Only other running backs on the bench are Gibson and Gainwell. Listen, I've never been on the Najee, but I did in redraft this year. I talked myself into it. Oh, this is a value. No, it's not. I should have trusted myself. Breece Hall is going to get better. I don't know what happened to Gibson. Like, I thought Bieniemy was going to use this guy. Bieniemy. Like, Bieniemy's throwing the ball to Brian Robinson and not throwing the ball to Gibson, which is not what I expected. I expected Gibson to be the Jerick McKinnon of this offense, right? And it's just not happening. And so that's tough. That's very tough. And then Gainwell, unfortunate, right? He gets hurt week 1. He dominates the touches. And then DeAndre Swift goes bananas, and Gainwell is now not startable. It's rough. You got it rough there, Jeff. Sorry about your running back issues. Chris says need running back 2. So do you need 2 running backs, or do you just need a running back 2? So if we're going 1, I'm going with Rachaad White.
Yep.
And if we're going 2, I'm going with Rachaad White and probably Ford. If you want to get frisky, if you want to get frisky and you want to go ceiling, then go Achane. Ford's safer, I think. Are you guys saying anything, or are you just shaking your heads and marbles rocking in there, or what? You got to verbalize this stuff.
No, I agree with you. I'd go White and Achane. I'd actually go White and Achane no matter what, if you're picking 2.
See, that's what I was looking for. TD only league. I love this. Jonathan comes in and asks these. I love these touchdown only leagues. James Conner's in your lineup. That dude 100%. Finds the end zone all the time. So then after that, it's probably Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
You got to start 3 this way. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to start 3. Who's the third one?
Brian Robinson.
I would go in order. until you get to Pierce, and I'd put Achane ahead of Pierce, and then Pierce probably. That Dolphins offense just has too much touchdown upside for Dameon Pierce to be. I'm sorry, you're Dameon Pierce love or
it's
admiration.
Painful. It's admiration. It's not love. It's more out of necessity in certain leagues than anything.
Just to skip down here, Gibson.
Yeah, that's what I was looking up was Antonio Gibson's fumbles. He's fumbled twice and lost it twice in 2023.
Northwest Soul. Are you in? Soul?
Got Korea. Yeah, we got Soul Korea.
Yeah. Well, last week we had Australia, China, and then Mexico and somebody in Europe chilling with us. That's awesome. We love to see it. Full PPR, tight end. Start 1, Kincaid or Hunter Henry. Now for the flex, start 1, Flowers or Breece Hall.
Flowers.
Hunter Henry.
Yep. Probably Zay Flowers. I'm okay with Zay Flowers there.
That one's a toss-up for me. It's almost a flip a coin situation. You got a coin there, Shane? Is that what you're grabbing?
No, it's paper clips. I'm sitting here being ADHD with paper clips. I got a card. It's maybe flip a card.
I think. Who do the Jets have? We talked about this, but
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
With that mean mother effer, Chris Jones.
I remember that. I'm probably going Breece Hall here. Probably going Hunter and Breece Hall.
Hunter and Flowers for me.
Yep, I went Hunter and Flowers as well.
Oaks says hi.
What's up?
Oaks, should I start Mike Evans, Nico Collins, or Tutu Atwell this week? I'm starting Mike Evans. I know the Lattimore stuff, but
same.
I mean,
if it really bothers you, then I'm going Nico after that.
Same.
If you're really scared of Lattimore, I understand it. I just traded away Rashad White and Thielen for Mostert and Sutton. Thoughts? Winning.
Well, yeah. I mean, if Mostert stays healthy the rest of the year, which this will be the first year if it does.
Every running back could get hurt on any carry. I'm going with that freaking banging offense.
And Sutton's been producing really well. I mean,
hey, the guy that averaged 3 points last year, I wasn't very high on this year, but he's performed pretty well the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm with you. I think you get the two best fantasy players.
I see what you did there.
They may be the best 2 NFL players too, but D's nuts. My name is Jeff. Awesome. Sorry, I don't know if I missed you answering. 14-man double flex. So league's very thin. Traded Madison for Waller. Should I go Goddard and Gus for Brian Robinson? So if you have Waller,
I would.
Yeah, I think you win here. If you go, trading Madison for Waller's a dub.
Yep.
We already know that. We already know Rick's gonna like that one, right?
Yep.
That's like if you traded a bag of potato chips, or if you traded Ronald Jones for a pack of potato chips, you won, right? Like that's Madison has now taken over the Ronald Jones shitstorm from Rick. That is the new Ronald Jones. We only got to worry about it for next couple of weeks, so then I'll have to figure out who's after that. But yeah, I do this for sure.
Yep.
Victor Periona says, should I dare to play Logan Thomas as my only tight end this week? Parham, Granson, Knox, Fant are on the free. I'm playing Logan Thomas. He's healthy. If he's healthy, he gets targeted, and he's one of their best red zone threats. So I'm going Logan Thomas.
Agreed.
Yep.
What y'all think about Jerome Ford? Start Ford or Flowers in the flex PPR? I mean, I'm probably going Ford here. It's just safer. He's going to get touches.
Yep, I'd agree. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. He's still their starter, at least for another week.
I'm going Flowers. I'm really high on Flowers this week.
I bet you really are.
I see what you did there.
Wait. You picked Tutu over Flowers, right? So how
standard?
But if you're really high on Flowers, you're expecting a touchdown, right? Or do you just expect him to get 20 targets?
I'm expecting a lot of volume because they're going to have Mark Andrews and Flowers and no one else to throw to.
You're expecting Puka-style scoring for Flowers.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. just with your context of the other one, like I feel like Ford is an easier start than Tutu. But gotcha. I was just curious. I'm going Ford. What'd you say, Brad? I feel like Ford. You got lost in there. Ford?
Nope, I said Ford.
Okay. Josh says, sit Brian Robinson against that Philly front. Can flex in Sutton, Elijah Moore, or London.
I would the flex in Sutton, right?
Yeah. Fire up against Chicago, Jaws.
Yep. As much as I like starting Brian Robinson this year.
Jeff, we appreciate the super chat. Means a lot when you guys support. Helps us keep going. But if not, a like, a subscribe, that'll do. Tune in for all the content. Just let everybody know we might be starting another live stream if we can find a partner for our boy Bryce. Pre-game, either Monday or Thursday. Pre-game stream.
Nice.
Lockett or Sutton? I'm going Lockett.
Sutton.
Oh, shit.
Sutton against Chicago this week.
I'm going Lockett, but I want to get Sutton in my lineup if I can. But
I'm going Sutton.
Like you want to
as well.
Pick one for Steven.
Mostert.
Hollywood Brown. Nico Collins. Stevenson for full flex. It is Mostert for me as well. Brad?
Yeah, I was the first one to say Mostert.
Oh, I thought you guys might have said it at the same time, and I only heard. And Shane's voice just takes over Brad's, which is weird. Gibson, fumbling every game. We showed that one. Chig, Taysom Hill, or Dawson Knox off waivers, PPR.
Probably Dawson Knox, right?
That's what I was gonna say. It's ugly. I want it to be Chig so bad.
It's
not right now.
I was thinking Chig. Treylon Burks is out this week.
Oh.
So if it's for this week, I'd go Chig. Rest of season, I'd probably go Knox.
See, either way, I'm Chig rest of season because I think Dalton Kincaid takes over more and more of that work as the season progresses. But with Burks out, I'll go Chig. I'll take the shot on the athletic tight end for Tennessee.
Breaking other news, Notre Dame won.
What was the score?
21-14.
Ooh. Uglier than we'd like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brad, what I kind of cut you off
Knox.
there.
No, I said Knox.
I kind of cut you off, though. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, no, you're fine. Yeah, I would still go Dawson Knox for the rest of the season. He's still their tight end one. I don't think Dalton Kincaid fully takes it over.
Are you sure?
I mean, the rest of the season.
I didn't think Laporta was going to break the tight end receiving record for first 4 games of his career either.
Detroit's just so good.
Oh, yeah, they're so good.
I'm about to leave this
till they're not. I can't wait till Brad feels just like I do right now.
What are you talking about? I've been feeling that way since the 50s, and I wasn't even alive then. So, I get it.
Well, yeah, but the high to the immediate low is the hard part about being a Lions and a Bears fan, right? We have all this hope, and then it's literally we get deflated in the matter of minutes. It doesn't even take a full game. It just happens, and then we're just right back to freaking PTSD from the past, and oh god, it's painful.
It's fair.
Sorry, I don't mean to put my sorrow and hurt and despair all on you going back to your normal situation.
It's not happening this year. We're going to the playoffs.
Hey, listen, you guys win a playoff game, and I'll take the shit talk from Lions fans. But I've told 2 Lions fans already, like I'm not like your words don't faze me yet. You guys got to do something with this, right?
It's true. I'm there with you.
Cheese. Thanks for the $5 super chat. We appreciate it. Okay, so he can only start 3 in this PPR league. Flowers.
That
Pickens.
sucks.
Flowers. Pickens. Dell, London, Rashee Rice, Robert Woods. I'm going Flowers, Dell, London.
I thought I was too, but I'm gonna go Flowers,
I know.
Pickens, Dell.
I was changing my mind right as you were saying that. I'm gonna go Pickens, Dell, London.
Yep, I would say Pickens, Dell, London. I mean, Pittsburgh's facing Houston, so that should be a fun fantasy matchup. So
I'm just gonna make this statement for the rest of the show. Just disregard me if Flowers is on here because I'm gonna get outvoted. So Pickens, Dell, London.
Yep.
No, pick who you want. We don't have to agree. That's not the point of this.
If I'm picking who I want, it's Flowers, Pickens, Dell.
Yes, pick who you want. We don't want
you to pick who we want.
Hey, Brad, you can't say that because just last weekend I had to tell you the same thing.
But I listened.
I might try to talk you out of it, but that doesn't mean you can't pick who you want.
Either way, I think those top 4 guys, I think Flowers, Pickens, Dell, and London all have startable weeks this week. I think the production's solid. I'm just going with, I think Pickens and Dell both have really juicy matchups against each other. And then London, I think, is going to continue to be a strong producer.
Okay, so E111 says, hello, Russ, Gino, or Stroud. 6-point TD. Russ.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Russ versus Chicago. If anybody's giving up 70 points this week, it's either the Broncos or the Bears. It's probably a better shot that the Broncos score the 70 than the Bears. CJ Stroud or Anthony Richardson, what do you guys think? For me, it's easily Richardson if he's, we know he's starting this week, but as long as he's starting, he is a top probably 7-8 quarterback for me. Too much rushing, too many rushing touchdowns. I'm going Anthony Richardson.
I agree.
Both of these guys have looked good for rookies.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Both of these guys have been good for rookies. Also, Hunter Henry or Pat Freiermuth.
I want it to be Pat Freiermuth, but he's just not getting targeted. I mean, it's got to be Henry because Freiermuth's only getting 4 targets a week, maybe.
I think
I'm going Henry.
I'm going Henry as well. And give me a second to look up Freiermuth's stats because it's bad.
Yeah. Last time I checked, I think it was only 4 targets a game. It was ridiculous.
I mean, only for a tight end is
his year so far is 9 targets, 5 catches for 46 yards. Now he's got 2 touchdowns. So that's saving him from a fantasy perspective a little bit, but 9 targets and 5 catches for the whole year.
So he's only averaging 3 targets per game.
Travesty. Such a good tight end.
Okay, so where was I at here?
That one.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen, for the response. Not a problem at all. Should I start Algier or Breece Hall? I'm going Breece Hall.
Yep.
Yeah. Golly, I feel like that's closer, though, than it should be.
Brad, get it back up. Oh, I thought we had all 3 at once. Nope, can't do it now. Brad ruined it.
I mean, I started the trend. Y'all are just following me.
Yeah, but you put yours down before we could get ours up. 2 running backs. Shane, that is disgusting that's where your mind went. Don't invite Shane to parties, just so everybody knows. Do not invite him. That's why I told him to take the Pornhub. I guess
it was Sleeper.
Is that the
whatever you search?
I'm not getting into it. I'm not getting canceled today. I'm not getting canceled today. 2 running backs,
Williams and Chuba.
Yes.
Especially Miles Sanders. I mean, with Miles Sanders being hurt, I think Chuba and Javonte Williams eat this week.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know that Chuba's got tough enough teeth to eat, per se.
I mean, he'll gun it. I don't know.
I don't think he's very good. But I'm going Javonte and Chuba as well. Tajay would be my third here.
He is outperforming Derrick Henry so far this year, which is weird.
He's outsnapped him in 2 out of 3 games.
Yep.
Pick 2, PPR, Cooper, Puka, Ayuk, Kirk. So Ayuk is my number 1 here.
Yep.
And Cooper would be my number 2.
Yep.
Ooh. And we got another super chat when you're done.
If you wanted Puka over Cooper, I would understand it. I wouldn't really argue much against it, but I'm going Ayuk and Cooper. Everybody's on agreement there. Sweep it. Taylor, my dude. Hey, remember Monday. I need to get on the phone with you to talk to you about phone bills. Okay, so he gave a late first, Sky. He gave a late first and Sky Moore. He got Jaden Reed, Akers, Shaheed. Thoughts? Then, okay, let's do that first. Then don't answer the second part until we get to it. Let's all answer the first part first. So do you like giving up a late first and Sky Moore to get Jaden Reed, Akers, and Shaheed?
Yep, I'm fine with that. I mean, Jaden Reed, long-term, is a really nice piece. And then Akers could be the starter in Minnesota next week, and it wouldn't surprise me. And then Shaheed's, I mean, Derek Carr likes him. He's been getting targeted pretty well. So, Sky Moore is still a nice dynasty prospect, but you're getting better value in that return. And the late first means you're, going for a championship. So I'd rather that this year too.
Here's where I'm at, because Taylor, I'm sure this is one of the leagues that I run, and I can't remember if it was one of the 1 QBs, because the first 2 that I started up were 1 QBs. Everything after that's been Superflex. I can't remember which league this was in. If it was in the 1 QB leagues, I like it.
Same.
If it's a Superflex league, that first is too valuable, and I don't like it. So that's where I would be at. In a 1 QB, I'm fine, because you're not going to have the 6. I mean, we might have 6 or 7 quarterbacks going in the first round of Superflex, which is going to push back a lot of talent in Superflex drafts. So I really, really hate it in that scenario. If it's the 1 QB league, Taylor, you can put that in the chat. Then I like it, because it's going to be entirely different. It's going to be entirely different this year with that many quarterbacks. If they all come out, it's going to be bonkers how the number literally the number 12 pick in Superflex is probably going to be as valuable as a lot of number 4s and 5s, right? With that many quarterbacks.
Yeah, Taylor says it's the 1 quarterback.
Yeah, then I like it for sure.
I like it.
Don't forget the second part of that question.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just Taylor. Shane, what were you saying?
I was just saying I like it. It's a little rich with the first, but it's fine. I think you got decent depth pieces with long-term upside.
Okay. Then PPR, Flowers, Dell, Jacoby, Hollywood, London. Pick 1 in PPR.
Well, we know Shane's going to go Flowers.
No, I'm actually thinking Dell here.
I mean, for me, it's Hollywood or London. And
I'm going London.
It's probably London for me. London. Okay, now I don't remember where we were. We were right in this area. Pick 2.
We already did that one.
We did that one.
Alex Smith, Washington Commanders.
Wait, no, we didn't do this one.
Well, but he was just talking about his, his thinking about the Cooper.
I didn't read it yet, so I just knew that. I saw the shoulder thing. It's like, I don't remember that. Alex, what's up? I still don't know if this is the Alex Smith that I know or not. That we used to sit on the board of a charity together. That he started.
Washington
Commanders
Commanders starting quarterback. Alex Smith.
Could be.
No, not that one. I don't know that one. Sit 1, PPR, Kyron Williams, Swift. It's weird that you picked the Commanders as the team that you used to rep Alex Smith.
That was the last team he played for. That was the last team he played for.
Like, throw me off there. You got 49ers and the Chiefs, and you picked the. He didn't even play for. He played for the football team, right? He didn't even play for the.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
Kyron Williams, Swift, Etienne, or Kamara. He's got to sit one of these.
Kyron.
Yeah.
For me.
Yep.
Yep. Kyren for me as well. That's a good running back group you got there, Alex.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Pretty impressive. Sam says, do I trade Danny Dimes and Bijan for Kenneth Walker and Lamar?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
Bijan's the best part of this deal. Why would you want to get rid of him?
Because Lamar is a huge upgrade at quarterback.
Well, but if this is one quarterback, you said you stream him anyway, right?
Well, yeah, but again, Bijan is good, but Kenneth Walker's like running back 3 right now in the season. Now, I do think Zach Charbonnet gets some more work, but how much of a difference is there really between Bijan and Kenneth Walker for the rest of this season? Right? That's my thing. Where we at? Let me look here. Running back, PPR, if that's PPR. Kenneth Walker is running back 3, averaging 19.9 fantasy points. Bijan's averaging 17. I just think they're going to be close enough that you take the huge upgrade at quarterback. If it's Dynasty, then I'll keep Bijan and figure out my quarterback situation.
I would just, if you're hurting at quarterback and tired of Danny Dimes, I would try a different trade. I'm keeping Bijan.
I don't hate it because you're not losing a ton of value at running back. I mean, Bijan's the best part of this deal, and that's the tough part for me.
I just feel like you're giving too much stock to the name, because we do know. Well, no, we do know that Tyler Algier is
the number 1 running back in fantasy, or number 2 running back in fantasy.
He's not the number 2. He's the number 7, and Kenneth Walker's the number 3. As we sit right now. But we know Bijan's got Tyler Algier in that backfield that's going to be heavily involved all year too. So for me, it's just for a 1-season thing. If it's Dynasty, then it's clearly Bijan for me. Thanks, guys. I'll roll with Russ. Kenneth says, trade Puka and Damian Pierce for Olave. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Or trade Kyren Williams for Ridley. I'd rather have
Kyren.
Olave.
I'd rather have Kyren.
Yeah, I agree.
I would go Puka and Damian Pierce for Olave.
Yep.
I'm looking to move off
the
waiver wire pickup. No.
No.
I'm doubting you can trade both of the running backs. You probably lose too much depth. I mean, if you have enough running backs, then yeah, he said he's trying to move these waiver wire pickups. So if you have depth and you have Kyren Williams and Puka, you can make both these deals and then get 2 stud receivers. Would y'all trade Mike Evans, Monty, Dell for Waddle, Stevenson, Hawkinson?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Much as I like Mike Evans, I mean, that's a huge deal for you.
Taylor says Jaden Reed was the only dude that he wanted in that trade. So I feel like you definitely gave up too much because I probably would not pay a first for Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
No.
Canelo getting it done tonight? ? Jeff wants to know. I don't know enough about
the 5th.
Fighting. Is Canelo boxing or MMA? We don't have a good answer for you because none of us know what's going on. I think Canelo's a boxer, right? Because I think my boy Ray Flores interviews him all the time.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, it's boxing.
I'll go with Canelo.
I'll roll with it.
Don't put money on it. On my advice. Don't use my advice to put money on it. E111 says again, 1 PPR in second flex. 1 point PPR, second flex. Robert Woods, Herbert, or Hubbard. I'll go Herbert here. If we find out that Sanders isn't playing, then I'll go Hubbard. But if Sanders is playing, then I'll go Khalil Herbert here.
Gosh.
We're hoping the Bears score at least 21 points, right?
Yeah. I think you said
you've upped it from 18 to 21.
18 was just such a weird number, right? Like, we gonna score 3 touchdowns and miss all the PATs or what?
It's the Bears. It could happen.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, it feels like Woods is the safest play here, right?
Yeah.
Because we know he's going to get probably 6+ targets, but Yeah, I would probably lean Hubbard with the injury, and Herbert, I mean, has a chance to produce, but man, Woods feels like the safest play, to be quite honest.
Taylor says Hollywood is questionable and a late slate game. Those are all early.
In the second half of his super chat earlier.
Right. PPR, start who you're starting. Flowers, Dell, Jacoby, Hollywood, London.
Yeah. If you don't want to wait on Hollywood, I get it.
I'm picking London. I was picking London either way.
We all picked London, or two of us picked London,
Dell.
and you picked Dell. Yeah, you always go against the grain. It's why you have such a bad record in all your leagues you showed me. It's only like you're 2 and 48 on the year or something like that.
That's not true. I was awful last week. I was like 5 for 20 last week, but
14 team for itty bitty South City. Half PPR. We have Brees Hall, Najee, Kyron Williams, Roshan, Achan, Charbonnet, DJ Moore, Dotson, Elijah Moore, Rice. Need 2 running backs and 1 flex. I'm going Kyron and Brees.
Yep.
And DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'd probably do that as the flex.
Achan would be the only one that I would consider over DJ Moore out of all these guys.
I need to see it more than 1 week.
Yeah, so do I, but he would be the only one that I would consider just because we know he has a huge ceiling. Najee's just not good.
I hope this is a get right game for Najee, but I'm going benched everywhere.
I'm going with the superstition of benching Najee and hoping he gets right on my bench, but I'm going Kyron, Najee, and DJ Moore.
You're starting Najee?
Yeah.
You're down bad.
Yeah.
Dude, he's just not good. He's never has been good. Sorry. Didn't mean to make you throw stuff.
No, it just put something down.
I'm just teaching you stuff, dude.
So Burrow against Tennessee or Purdy against who's
you got to start Purdy right
now.
Burrow's right.
And they're playing Arizona.
Purdy's facing Arizona though. They just shut down Dak, so let's slow it down here.
Yeah, but the thing is here, Burrow's not Burrow right now.
No,
like he may have that name on the back of his jersey, but Burrow's not Burrow right now.
That injury's jacking with him.
Yeah, Purdy just consistently scores points. Maybe not on the high end, but we're looking at 16.8, 14.7, 20.3 in his games. Let me scroll all the way down here to find Joe Burrow.
4 hours later.
I can't even find him. I don't even think they put him on here. Really? Oh, there he is. Literally 30th. 3.2, 16.4, 9.2. He's just, you got to go with Purdy right now. He's got a 15-point floor with a 22-point upside. He's probably not going to score you 35 ever. Burrow might, but until we see a healthier Burrow, I think you got to go with Purdy. Everybody agreed there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, CFLG says 2 wide receivers, Chase, Garrett Wilson, Dell, Tony, MT for full PPR. We're going with 2 of these. Chase, don't even put Chase in this, please. Just say 1 wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, Dell, Tony, MT.
Chase has to start.
So Chase has to start. Tony is obviously on the bench. So we've got Garrett Wilson, Dell, and MT for this last one. I'm going Dell. What are you guys doing?
Dell.
Yeah, PPR. Yeah, I'd be fine with Dell.
Who you flexing, Matt Breida or Khalil Herbert? Herbert.
Yep.
Especially if Saquon's back, which is just crazy to me if he plays. But, again, you remember all the talk about Kelsey missing 3 games minimum, and he missed 1? Like, these guys are crazy. E111 says boxing to that Canelo thing. Yeah, I'm not very good on the boxing stuff. A buddy of mine does announce for him, but
yeah, both are previous undisputed champions.
Charlo versus Kane.
He meant Canelo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is
Charlo
boxing
versus
stuff.
Canelo.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Both previous undisputed champions. That's what you were just saying. Canelo. Do I start Herbert or McKinnon? And yes, I'm down bad at running back wise because of Chubb. Herbert.
McKinnon.
No.
I mean, McKinnon's had his one big game of the year.
Against Chicago.
Okay,
Against Chicago. He hasn't been used very much other than that.
Yeah.
But against Chicago,
no,
you just
right.
give it to anybody. And
he wasn't even really used against Chicago. I think
he had 2 touchdowns or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go Herbert here. I'm wrong initially.
Did you say just like usual?
No, I said initially on that one.
I totally missed what you said.
I'm sure you did.
Pick one for Louise. In full PPR, Dameon Pierce, Sanders, or Mixon?
Mixon.
You don't have to be wrong like usual. You can just pick Mixon.
But
it's really Sanders if he's healthy. I would start Sanders if he was healthy.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
Yep.
Don't trust it. Start 3 in PPR. Swift, Kamara, Kyron, Miss. Is that the guy that I don't like? Is that supposed to be Madison? And it
Moss. It's 1 down.
Oh, Moss. Javante.
Oh, this is a good problem, man.
Wow, this is a really good problem to have.
So Swift, Kamara, and Javante for me this week, and it's only because Javante's going against Chicago.
Swift and Kamara are the easy ones. I'm going Kyron. Yeah, I'm going Kyron. I think too much pass down work here in this game.
I'm really considering Moss just so you have a floor. But no, go Javante. Swift, Kamara, and Javante.
RotoHeat Sully says Burrow gets Tennessee and looked a lot better in the second half last week. Yeah, I got to see it. I got to see it for a good stretch here right now. Because even if he looked good in the second half, he still only scored 9 fantasy points last week.
Yep.
Brock Purdy's doing that basically every half. I don't like saying it either because I'm not a big Purdy guy, but
yeah, both are healthy. It's Burrow easily, but Burrow's
if it's
not
working,
right
it's
now.
working. We can do this too, right? So Purdy is quarterback 13 on the year. So if we look at his game logs this year, his worst game is 14.7. If we look at the games that he started last year, that he finished, his worst game was 15.3. So in 8 starts, his worst game is 14.7. It's just too good of a floor Burrow definitely better, but I just think the floor is too good with Purdy to sit him, even though it hurts me to say because I don't think he's that good. I think he's benefiting from being in a great offense with a great offensive mind. I hope that the Bears trade Justin Fields to one of those guys. Let Sean McVay put him in a position to win so that I can make some of my money back. It's so painful. All right. So that is our stream. Now we are going to be live at 9 a.m. with the Boomer Bust Show. Obviously, the Jacksonville game will be going on. I'm pretty excited to check out that Disney Toy Story
mode or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, they're doing that in real time. Can you guys imagine? We're all old enough to remember when the N64 came out and 3D became a thing in gaming, and we were like, how can it ever get better than this? And here we are in 2023 where the football game is going to be converted into 3D in real time. That is nuts. That is awesome. I want to check that out, but we will be live from 9 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern or close to 1 p.m., depending on how many questions we're getting. But we'll be able to answer some more questions in the morning. We'll know more about health and stuff. Okay, so if you're gonna come in and argue with me, then come on the stream. Josh says deep dish or that square pizza from Detroit. It's deep dish.
The square pizza from Detroit is okay. I mean, it's not great.
Where are you, old man?
Probably messing up the rankings.
Probably in a costume of some sorts, maybe of a
dude.
Sort of it's
probably something real weird this week, right? He's probably let's see what. He's probably in like a wildebeest outfit or something.
What are y'all talking?
So this goes from streams. Josh wouldn't remember years back streams. Sully was in was it a donkey costume?
Yeah. Yeah, they're furries over there in Canada. Hey, yo. Okay, Ray. We were just getting ready to log out, so drop your question. We'll get her answered.
If you got one.
If you got one, yeah.
Oh,
okay, so John had one. See, this is what I always try to just hit end. I love you guys, though. John Mayololi. I hope I said that right. It doesn't feel right. Start LA. Chargers defense versus Raiders with no Jimmy G, or Seattle defense versus the Giants?
Seattle.
I'm going Seattle here.
Chargers defense is hurt.
Yeah, I feel like the Raiders are just going to run the ball. Chargers are way terrible against the run.
Yeah, I would probably lean Chargers for the upside just because Vegas is starting a backup. I mean, Seattle's defense can give you double-digit points, but 2 of the 3 weeks they've been 5 or less fantasy points. So I would go ceiling over floor.
Ray says Christian Kirk versus Falcons in London with no Zay Jones and Agnew is a game time decision, or Jacoby Myers versus Chargers with no Jimmy G, but versus worst passing defense. Hopefully Aiden plays, not Hoyer or Damian Pierce. For one, I just think Jacoby is pretty insulated with the types of targets he gets, and even Hoyer will chuck it. Like, I don't care if he throws interceptions, if we feel like they're gonna have to throw, but I don't feel like they're gonna have to throw.
Well, but so it's Christian Kirk or Jacoby Myers
or Damian Pierce.
I'm going Christian Kirk.
So I'd go Kirk. Yeah, yep.
Kirk
said it is standard. He said, "Have a good weekend."
You too,
also, Auburn almost won today, bro. Close game.
It was a winnable game. It was such a winnable game. Thanks.
I really wish they would have, though. Thanks, guys. One more. Start Justin Fields versus Denver or Deshaun Watson versus Baltimore. This is Justin Fields pretty easily for me.
Yes,
and then Josh says, looks like Farva plays like Favre. Hope we get to see Aiden O'Connell tomorrow. That would be great.
As long as he can get a liter of cola.
Lamar. It's Lamar.
There's the rushing upside. Yeah,
it's Lamar. Hey, GZ, thanks for showing up. Guys, again, back 9 a.m. We'll be here. You can, turn on the game and chat with us, whatever. We'll be on. But thanks for hanging out tonight.
We also got Tuesday nights. Don't forget Tuesday night streams.
Oh, they're all coming back tomorrow, Brad. You got to leave stuff for them to come back for. Come on. See, now we got to, Brad, now we got to stay. Okay, really enjoyed your show.
Scampers anyway.
Really enjoyed your show. Yeah, video games. I had a Fairchild Channel F and Atari. Yep.
Oh my God.
I started with the Atari
I don't understand that.
I don't know the Fairchild Channel F. I know the Atari 2600 though.
I'm too young for that. Sorry.
Brad's old enough for it.
Yep.
Start the stream over for me or see you in the morning. Half point PPR. Mr. Scampers.
Meow.
I'm telling you, are you guys coming to the expo with me next year?
I'm gonna try.
Brad cancels last minute every year, so he probably won't.
I won't have a headache. I'll say that.
Do what?
I won't have a headache, so I won't miss. Like our draft that somebody missed because they were down the street with a headache.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, you did miss a live draft.
Oh, dude.
From what I heard, you live very close to where we were drafting at.
I would have gave my headache up to go to the draft for sure. I just traded Brock Purdy and Tank Dell for Puka. I have Sanders and Etienne at running back and JT on my IR. Should I try to trade Puka for a better running back? Who should I target? Diggs, Lamb, and Smith at wide receiver.
Okay, that makes a little more sense, but
Sanders and Etienne. Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine trading Puka for a running back if you can get.
I don't love the initial trade, right? But it's done. So,
it's all right. If it's one QB, then again, Purdy, he's safe, but the upside's not there. I'm sure you have a better starter if you're trading him. So he's probably never going to play for you. So the value to you is way different than.
Well, and what's the value of Puka, right? Like, what kind of running back do you think you can get? You're not getting he has Allen at quarterback.
Yeah, so he didn't need Puka. So Purdy's value to him was low. So yeah, I like that.
Running back wise, you're probably not getting a RB1 for him. But can you get a nice RB2?
It depends. If Puka puts up another 15 targets tomorrow and catches 10, then people are going to be back on the Puka. I mean, then he's a wide receiver 1, so you might be able to get a running back 1 for him.
Am I crazy to think trying to trade for Gibbs?
That was the first name that popped up. Like, what if people are wrong about Gibbs and they start using him as the season goes on more? And if you
they're going to, but Puka still, they should do it now because he's better than Montgomery. But
I mean, they're winning still, so I don't think they really care as long as they win.
I mean, I still like playing my best players. I don't know about you.
I mean, we're winning and we're not playing our best players. I mean, we're just going to be ridiculous once we get the best players going.
I don't think you're smart enough to do that. That's why DeAndre Swift's in Philly. That's why I say these same old
Montgomery's getting out snapped by Gibbs.
So I would target, maybe you can target JT, who's supposed to be coming back, or
he has JT. Good trade.
Oh, he does. He does say JT on IR. Duh.
Brad wants you to put Puka on the IR and take JT off. Just trade him.
Sorry, it's late.
No, it's cool. See, I would keep Puka, and I would see if you could trade a lesser player for like a Roshan Johnson. Get an upside like guy that's going to get action, even a Zach Charbonnet, one of those guys that we expect to get more work later. Because you got JT coming back. I don't think he can't sit out the whole year. He's going to come back at some point, and you're probably not starting whoever you trade Puka for, but you might be starting Puka. So I would rather keep Puka, see what happens with JT, especially if you're at like 2-1 or 3-0, and then make a decision. Because if JT comes back, then I'd rather have Puka than what you're going to get that you're not going to start unless you can start 4 running backs.
Yep.
Now we have a Q again. I have Allen at QB. George says, after the Aaron Jones dud, do I flex Tank Dell? No. Just Aaron Jones will be fine.
Well, he's talking about flexing this week in his line.
Oh, yeah, I gave up on the question. I'm sorry, I'm about to fall asleep. I've been working since 6:30 this morning, so I'm about to fall asleep, and I got to get up and do it again at 9. After the Aaron Jones dud, do I flex Tank Dell for the ceiling player or Pacheco for the safer floor? I'm going Dell either way. Yeah. I'm going Dell over Pacheco either way.
Yep.
I got both off waivers. Yeah, that's good, man. I like when you can
it's a good problem to have.
Flip some waiver wire pieces and make it into better stuff. Do you think Lamar's a bad play this week against the Browns? Past 4 matchups against them have been bad, and their defense only got better. I mean, even if it's a bad matchup, you start Lamar Jackson every week, and
yeah,
if it goes bad, it goes bad. But
different play caller this year instead of the garbage play caller they've had.
Yeah,
and that offense has looked better, even with Sutton. And
we're saying that because he plays the Bears.
I've in one league in my 16-team league, I've been playing. I mean, Sutton's been a weekly starter for me this year. He's double-digit plus points.
In most, I would still start Thielen over him with the action that Thielen's getting, but in this one, Sutton definitely. I mean, he has like 6 touchdown upside against the Bears this week.
Do you want Sutton against the Bears, who suck, or do you want Thielen against the Vikings, who suck?
Bears suck worse. Like I said, they've only got 2 of their top 6 in the secondary this week.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Haha. We appreciate you for real. I'm sarcastic, so sorry if don't take offense to it. And I'm half asleep if you can't tell. Probably look like I'm stoned, don't I? Madison or Ramondre? Please don't ever put them 2 in there again. Madison. I'm sorry. For those of you that are just tuning in, I do not like Madison at all. He will never
keep
be the
his
answer.
Name out your mouth is what Rick just said.
We had Marco from the future like making stuff up to get me to pick something over or pick Madison over everything last weekend.
Love that.
Love getting tradable value off the waiver wire, but sometimes waiver wire gold is really gold. Reminds me of when I traded Alfred Morris for Darren McFadden and lost to that guy in the finals.
Oh gosh,
that was painful, man. Alfred Morris was
a beast
awesome
for a while.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Brady says Javonte, Madison, or Roche.
Javonte.
Javonte.
Yeah, this week Javonte could be big
Javonte, Roshan, and Madison. All right, I'm getting the giggles. I'm here for you guys. I love you guys. I'm glad you guys came out, hung out with us for about 2.5 hours. It's awesome. I will be back in the morning with Rob and Bryce, and yes,
just go watch the rest of the show.
Yeah, we've had a lot of Tank Dell. I think Tank Dell's going on the cover for the morning show. Okay, I'm just hitting end stream after we answer this one. TD only pick 3. Tutu, Collins, Bourne, Freiermuth, Debo, Samuel.
Debo's hurt, right? So it's got to be Tutu,
I'm going the first 3.
Bourne.
Same.
Yeah. Yep.
Same.
Thank you all. See you in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern.